Hey, and welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're going to make a banana split cake. I can't wait for you to try it at home because it's a real hit in our house. We're going to start out by preheating the oven to 350 degrees. That is the universal preheat temperature, have you noticed? And let me tell you how I came up with this. I was going through a whole lot of my cookbooks the other day, and I had so many that I'd collected over the years from churches, civic organizations, fundraising events for garden clubs, statewide and local communities. And I thought, you know, I've got all these wonderful cookbooks and so many are from here in Covington. And I thought, why don't we start featuring recipes out of local cookbooks? So keep that in mind, and we'll talk about it again at the end of the show about how, if your organization would be interested in letting us showcase some of your recipes, we'd be more than happy to do that. So we're going to start out with a cake mix, and this is yellow cake mix, right out of the box, right out of the bag. These bowls I'm using today are that stainless steel nest of bowls that we talked about a while back that I got at Covington Cooks. Love these bowls, and this spatula is from there too. Heat resistant. It can go in a boiling pot of soup, good for stirring. Love this little spatula spoon, as they call it. Now to this one package of yellow cake mix, we're going to add a package of instant vanilla pudding, and I use the sugar-free kind. Save a little calorie everywhere you can. So we're going to pour that in there and stir it together before we start adding the other ingredients. Okay, now into this we're going to add 1/4 cup of oil. We don't have to use much because we're going to add 2 bananas, and that will add a lot of moisture to it. So that's 1/4 cup of cooking oil. Canola, vegetable, whatever you have. And it is good to remember to stir after you add each ingredient. It makes it easier at the end. We're going to add 1 cup of milk. This is skim milk. You can use whole. So we're going to stir this a little bit. And we're going to add 4 eggs. And these are large eggs. You really want to keep your eggs at room temperature before you start cooking. And remember that little trick we talked about a while ago? Always break your eggs in a cup before adding it to the main ingredient pot, because what if you got a bad egg and you dump them all in there? It ruins the whole mixture. Now, like we talked about a minute ago, I know everybody watching this show is a member of an organization or a church that has a cookbook. And we really are serious about y'all getting those cookbooks over to Current Events Productions at the corner of Elm Street and Floyd and bringing them in. And if there's 1 or 2 particular ones in there that are really, really favorites of your community or organization, maybe make a note of it. And we will be more than glad to share them with all of our local people that love to cook and love to support organizations in our own neighborhood. But this is coming together pretty good because we're going to start to add things. We're going to start adding the bananas. And they're going to kind of melt in the cake mix as it bakes. And I would recommend, after you take this out of the oven and slice it up for your first meal, that I would put the rest of it in the refrigerator, since it does, I think it would keep better if you kept it cold rather than let it sit out. You don't want it to grow anything green, you understand? So here we go. This is the second banana that we're slicing up. Kind of thin pieces, nothing too big and chunky. This is about 3/4 cup of chopped pecans. So we're going to put those in there. See, it's getting banana split looking to me. And then the last thing we're going to do, we get these nuts incorporated. We're going to stir in some chocolate chips that are semi-sweet chocolate chips, because this is pretty sweet batter. This is a 12-ounce package, and we're not going to put all of it in there because that's a lot of chocolate chips. So we're going to do the little bag like that. Put in about half of the bag. Another way to change this recipe a bit, instead of adding chocolate chips, we could add peanut butter chips. And then it's ready for the oven. And by the time we get this all together, the oven will have been preheated, and we're gonna let it bake for 1 hour on 350. But do watch toward the last 15 minutes or so, because some people's ovens are hotter than others and you don't want to burn it. Okay, we're going to pour the batter into this fun pan. Covington Cooks did it again. These are the greatest little inventions you've ever seen. They're made by La Crusade, which makes that wonderful cast iron enamel cookware. And you think, God, that's going to melt in the oven, but it doesn't. And we're going to bake it, remember, at a preheated 350-degree oven for 1 hour. Okay, Messy Irene did it again. It won't matter in this pan though, nothing sticks. I did spray it with a little cooking oil, a little cooking spray. Not much, you don't need to with this kind of container. Notice it is on a cookie sheet. It'd be like this if it wasn't. So this keeps it nice and steady. 350. Now's the fun part. We're gonna dig into this banana split cake. And you're gonna see why I call it banana split, because it's got the bananas in it and the chocolate chips and the cake. And then we're gonna cut a piece, and then we're gonna decorate it with a wonderful edible topping that really gives it the banana split taste. Let's see if we can get it out without making a mess here. Oh, how moist. Those bananas did their job. Now let's put some cherries on it. This is pie cherries right out of the can. And this is whipped topping, but of course you could use the real stuff, whipped cream. And then let's top it off with a pecan. Yummy, as they say on TV. So until next month, I look forward to seeing you. And remember, bring those local cookbooks by current events, and we'll be more than happy to share with our viewers. Thanks again, and I look forward to it. Bye-bye.